Whenever I engage in a Windows workshop or like talk about Windows in general, I think of it as both a critical resource and this like collective of caring, compassionate, and dedicated people. With Windows, I mostly reach Native American communities, including urban healthcare providers and rural California Indian providers and community members out on the reservations and rancherias across the state. When I think of trauma, I think of survival. There's like reminders of genocide that are very much current and active movements that are being taken to take away resources and the humanity of a lot of the communities that I serve. And that brings the historical trauma back into the present. And it's just this constant fight. There was a community that was unfortunately experiencing a lot of suicide. 7 young people took their own lives in the span of 18 months. So the community was really mourning and going through a lot of emotions and difficulties at that time. So many organizations, including my own, gathered to provide them support. One of the times we came up, we provided an I Can, We Can workshop. Having that environment of the river flowing behind you, the wind blowing while we're painting and talking about us surviving as a community and thriving as a community together, youth, elders, everyone in between, was just incredibly powerful. I Can, We Can, and Windows was like one strand of the basket that helped weave a new basket to support that community. And now, from what I understand, there have not been any suicides since then, but it really was and is the community themselves who facilitated their own healing and continue to facilitate that. The piece itself is called Awanan. Awanan in the Ilocano language means no more. This idea that, we don't want any more harm, we don't want any more genocide or, the impacts of colonialism and violence upon people, just period. But at the time when I did that, I was, getting more and learning about my language and history and stuff. So the white on the outside is whiteness that kind of surrounds all of these different colors in there, right? So you have yellow, brown, red, and white too, because whiteness oppresses white people. And then, so that's just kind of what that means. And then there's all the dots in the middle because we're all community members, we all, are in this together. Yes, we're surrounded by this cloak of whiteness that we all need to unite against, dismantle, but we all do it together. And as it goes onto my forearm, it kind of like all blends together because essentially, we are human and we can work together when we dismantle that whiteness. Windows is a place and space for you to truly express and share how you really feel. If you're angry, if you are pissed the F off, if you're happy, if you're even just blah at the moment, there is room for all of that. If you're new to Windows, I invite you to share your story, however that might be, whether it's through a sculpture, through a journal, through embodied art. Windows is a place where you participate in the way that you feel is needed at that moment in time. And however you are bringing yourself to the workshop, to the moment, that is what you need at that moment.